But Chelsea, would you put money on either one of these teams to make the playoffs?
I think so. I think if the Texans can continue what they're doing, and a lot of this is odds dependent. So I'm not sure what the odds are here for the Texans to reach the playoffs. But so much of their preseason odds were based on the fact that they had a rookie quarterback. So many times in the NFL, rookies really struggle out of the gates. CJ Stroud's looked really good. In fact, it feels like he should have been the number one overall pick. So what we've seen from CJ Stroud very early on in the season makes me think that he's just going to get better over time. A Texans defense that has some great pieces as well. And plus, you look at the AFC South, this is a very winnable division. Right now, the Texans sit at 3-3, like you said, only a game back from the Jags. So it's very much a cluster in the AFC South. There is no team that's really ruling the roost. The Jags haven't looked super dominant either. So it feels like a winnable division. I think that is built in to maybe this Texans team going to the postseason because they can still win their division.
Yeah, I'd go with you on the Texans. I can't believe I'm saying that, but man, they have been really surprising. And first of all, I'm not cheering for Cleveland. They're getting everything they deserve with Deshaun Watson in that contract. I think they do not make the playoffs. But if you look at the Texans, and A, they've overperformed thus far, and then B, if you look at the rest of their schedule, they've got a lot of winnable games on there. They're going to Carolina this weekend. They host the Bucs. They have to go to Cincinnati. That's going to be tough. They host the Cardinals. And then they welcome the Jags. The Jags are very good. Still think Jags are the class of the division, but they host the Broncos, Jets, Titans who have struggled, Browns again, Colts at the end of the season. Now Gardner Minshew's going to be the guy because Anthony Richardson probably won't play again this year. Yeah, I think you can make a real case and probably get decent odds on the Texans. Go Houston. Wisconsin and Illinois. What's the play, Kate?
Yeah, this is definitely not the same caliber matchup. I'm taking the under in this one, 42.5. Wisconsin's on the road. Going to be without its starting quarterback, Tanner Mordecai. Broke his hand last weekend in the Badgers' loss to Iowa. And redshirt freshman Braden Locke took over when Mordecai went out in the first half. Completed only half of his passes, 15 for 30, 122 yards, 1 interception. Getting his first career start on the road in the Big Ten, even though it is against Illinois. That's still a tough spot to be in as an inexperienced quarterback. So Badgers are going to have to rely heavily on their run game. That's going to slow the pace down a little bit. Illinois, on their end, coming off of an impressive win over Maryland, but pretty abysmal outside of that. 109th in points per game, averaging just over 20. And Wisconsin's defense, kind of what's kept it in a lot of these games, held Big Ten opponents and each of its last 5 opponents overall to under 20 points per game. So this has all the makings for a classic kind of grinded out, slow, ugly Big Ten matchup. So I'm playing the under at 42.5.
I think there are several good options here. And first off, we need to mention that Max Scherzer may be on a pitch count here, even though if there is somebody that has veteran enough status to override Bruce Bochy and be like, nah, I'm staying in this game, it's probably Max Scherzer. So they said that he pitched a sim game of 69 pitches. Nice. In his, kind of quote unquote start before this one, where he was kind of getting warmed up, and they said his stamina and everything was great. So they expect him to go around that pitch count, but I would not be shocked if he stays in this game, if he is pitching well. And I think that's the big question mark because he's had some blowups against the Astros before. Earlier this year, one of his second to last starts this year, he had a bad one against the Astros, only went 3 innings and gave up 7 earned runs. Doesn't feel like it's trending well going against this Astros lineup that's been really good in the postseason. So you have that sabotage factor too. I think I'm going to go with the Astros in the first 5. It should be noted that Christian Javier had a bad one against the Rangers too, but it was back in July. On July the 3rd, gave up 8 earned runs over 4 1/3, but that's back when he was not pitching very well. He had a couple months this season where he really struggled, had an ERA of 6 in July, an ERA of 6 in August. But since then, he has turned it on. In the postseason, we know this guy really finds his way. In his career in the postseason, 5-1 with a 1.91 ERA. That's over 15 games, a pretty good sample size. So I think I'd trust Christian Javier a touch more here. So I'll go Astros at even money in the first 5.
I like that. I'm going to go Astros full game just because I also trust the Astros bullpen more so than I do the Rangers bullpen, which has not been good in Arlington this season. And as much as I want to back Max in such a big way, because I love Max, we know he helped the Nationals win a title here in D.C. He's beloved everywhere. And we know that he certainly has the ability to step up and perform huge in this spot. I'm with you on Christian Javier. You just cannot deny his postseason record. You can't deny how he looked against the Twins when he allowed just one hit over 5 innings, struck out 9. Scherzer is the real toss-up here. And the one thing that worries me is, A, you mentioned that performance against the Astros, so they clearly know how to hit him, even though it's only one performance and was his worst of the season. I don't expect that to happen again. But I think more than that, Chelsea, the Astros have just been a wagon on the road. This is a great spot for the Astros to get a win, and they have to have a win. If the Astros are going to win this series, they have to win tonight. And not many teams in Major League Baseball would I trust in this spot to necessarily get a win or to not be bothered by the moment. If there's any team remaining, because of their postseason history, because of those World Series titles, who will not be fazed by this moment, it is the Houston Astros. They were 51-20 on the road this season, and you're getting them at plus money. I know I don't make a ton of plus money plays on this show. I will be making it tonight. Everything I see points to the Astros on the money line, so that's where I'm going to go. Let me ask you about another woman in the spotlight, and this is the Chargers fan that went viral over the weekend. I'm sure you've seen. So at first it was, oh my God, she's a plant who acts like this. There was the video of her in full Vikings gear, but then it was revealed, okay, she's from Minnesota. She has a son who plays for the Vikings. She's just a maniac football fan, mom of 4. So opinions have run the spectrum. I just wanted to get your take.
Yeah, so I didn't see where I saw the rebuttal to it where they said, you know what, it's not fake. And I never saw the original, it's fake. But when they said it was fake, I was like, no, this can't be, because she would have to be a very good actress. There is a moment in her cheering where her face goes it's so naturally intense that there's no way that she'd be an actress. So I really liked also that the camera crew spotted this. And she is a season ticket holder. I believe they have a suite, and they're a Chargers season ticket holder. God bless you. So what she was doing, I think, was just so natural. She had the jersey, she had everything. I think it was a very fun moment in an otherwise a game that was like, eh. So I like this very much, but I like that she just was so naturally cheering for the team. And I think she propelled them to score that touchdown, I think is what happened, even though they did not win. I think that she did that for them. And so I like that. I think we need more of that. I think we need more of that kind of cheering and that kind of GIF material.